I disagree with everybody on the internet. I do not think Stranger Things season 4 is the best season by far.
Ooh,
No, definitely not.
And that's all I see. And I'm just like, it's really not as
it's
excited as
half
I
a
am
season.
to see. It's not even half. It's about 90% done. They have 2 episodes coming out in
Yeah,
July.
but the 2 episodes are
Or
like
yeah.
movie length, so it's more like 70%.
Yeah. But still, even then, I don't think that can recover it. Because I still enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. Well, the first time I watched it, I hated it. And I was like, and
Really?
just kept seeing people, yeah, I kept seeing people talk so good about it. And I was just like, I gotta tell you, man, I just don't think it lives up to it. Mostly because I love season 3. And I think season 3,
Yes.
in my opinion, is where it should have ended. I'm okay with the book closing right there. I thought that would have been a great ending, had an emotional impact with 2 characters dying, and then just boom, cut it right there. Elle lost her powers, but now she has to transition into like a normal life, right? The one thing that she probably wanted
Yeah.
compared to being a lab rat. And then season 4, I was okay. Don't get me wrong. I was okay with getting more Stranger Things. And upon the second viewing, my opinions changed. I think they have a lot of good in it and a lot of good episodes in it. A lot of the characters I didn't like originally, I like a lot more now. I think the biggest thing that I disliked about it is, well, first of all, the fucking Mike group doesn't do shit. They haven't been doing anything. I wasn't interested in them. They had one cool scene in their house, and that was it. Otherwise, I just don't care about anything else they're doing
They
right
really
now.
do be slacking, honestly.
The gym in Russia part,
I think it took up too much screen time.
Yeah.
way too much, way too much. So this is my main point that I don't like about the show is that yes, it did get over the top. I feel like it kind of was based in reality, and then crazy things were happening, and that was like the point, not necessarily being over the top. Season 3, looking back at it and stuff like that, it was more over the top, mostly with like Jim and then Murray, as their characters being kind of crazy and stuff like that. But like this season, I felt like every new character that was getting introduced was zany, quirky, didn't go by the grain, you know? Just kind of, I don't know, just kind of was cringy to me. Like Eddie, I like Eddie a lot now, but first seeing Eddie, I was just like, shut the fuck up, asshole. Like, I didn't like his character at first. Mostly just
He acted
from,
really strange in the first episode,
yeah.
and I hated him from then, but
See, and that's
after
what I
that,
mean,
like,
yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, he got way better. But that's what I mean. I was like, wow, he's the different kid sitting on the table going, whoa, I'm quirky, different. They all think I'm evil.
Hmm.
I don't know. Which, like, I don't know. It just kind of just struck me oddly. And also, another thing is, like, of course, these characters have already survived crazy situations. Murray shouldn't have been able to fight Yuri on that plane and then somewhat land it, even though it was still a crash landing, but they survived still. And then they impersonated Russian guards, which they did in the third season, broke into a prison, and then now they're getting Hopper out. I don't know why, but that whole Russia storyline, I just, when it comes to Joyce and Murray, I have a really hard time swallowing that for some reason.
The plot armor is thick.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I was like, they already had plot armor to begin with, but I don't know why it just rubbed me. Oh, wait, one more character that I felt like, okay, or I guess two. Argyle I didn't like originally. I like him a little bit more now. Still don't think he's great. I hope they do more with that whole group in general in the next half of the season. And then also Susie, I liked her a lot last season, even though it was very little screen time. It's just another case of like a character coming on screen and being super quirky, and I was just like, I to try to live up with the rest of the cast, but I was like, I don't know. It just feels like all these characters are no longer like human beings and are
Kind
incredibly
of
fake now.
superfied.
Just like stereotypes now.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just what I didn't like about it. That's what rubbed me the wrong way the most when I first watched it. The episode Dear Billy is probably the best episode for me in the season. I think it's fantastic, and Sadie Sink does a great job in that episode. It's really awesome.
I think, I honestly think that season 4 is my least favorite.
For real?
Damn.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's still good. I loved it the whole way through. But, like, reflecting on it, I don't think the plot of this season really, I don't know, it just kind of got wound up
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
in itself,
Yeah.
right? Like, and to the point where it kind of, like, stopped dead in its tracks. We'll have to see when the last 2 episodes come out in July.
Yeah.
I think it'll redeem itself. But I'm with you. Like, I loved season 3. I think it was my favorite. And then 1, and then 2, and then 4. The season was. I'll have to watch it again, maybe.
That's
You know, when I think when they all 5 come out, I'll do like a rewatch on the whole series, and then I'll have more to share in terms of like the wide scale, like how everything
Yeah.
is, because The rest of it, I only saw when it came out, and I haven't kind of reflected on it since then.
I think for me, again, like with both of you, I don't know why, but I really did enjoy season 3 more than the other 2 seasons, and I think this season isn't as good as season 3, but I think it's really good. The first time I watched it, I was actually it took a little bit for me to get into because some of the new characters I didn't really care for too much, but as once the ball got rolling, I got more invested into it, and I do agree with the whole if Hopper having too much screen time in Russia because he's not doing anything really too interesting. How some of the characters are a little bit too superhero-fied, I'd like to say. A little too much plot armor. What I really enjoyed is that we got more, I guess you could say, lore, because I'm a big lore guy. So we got 01. We kind of know the Upside Down works a little bit more. We know we have a little more info on it than we did before. I was really excited about that, and I'm really curious to see how everything's going to work out, because there's supposed to be one more season after this, and I'm going to assume that 01, I don't remember his other name, but I'm going to assume 01 is going to be defeated this season. So,
and then it's
the Mind Flayer.
The actual Mind Flayer.
That's what I assume, because in season 1, the Mind Flayer just basically sent, like, a scout, basically, or like one lone soldier Demogorgon to go take it, failed. Then he tried to do subterfuge, failed. Then he tried to manipulate, failed. Now he's using his top general, and his top general's gonna fail. So I think at the end, Mind Flayer's just gonna be like, fuck it, I'll do it myself, because I got no other options. I really thought Max was gonna die that scene, because I know, and you know what? What's fucked? As much as I love her character and I wouldn't want her to die, that would have been a really good death.
It would have been. Because it would have just been insane. It would have been nuts.
It would have been. That would have been crazy. Like, I would have raised the stakes
it'd be so hard to believe. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I'm glad she's not dead, to be fair. But now, where we got left off, Nancy is in the Upside Down. She's in danger of dying. Mm-hmm. She might die, actually.
Crazy.
Steve Harrington is my favorite character on this show. I like him more than 11, everybody else. But as much as I want Steve to, hook up, I don't know if hooking up with Nancy is, really, the greatest, character idea for him, because I feel like they're backtracking. Because, she's been with Jonathan, and I get the idea that, they're having relationship problems, her and Jonathan, and, they're wondering if this is going to work, and so she's looking back to Steve, and even though he's my favorite character, and maybe deep down I kind of want that, I don't think that's the best character path for him to go down.
And I just don't think it's like I also felt like it just wasn't a supernatural development between the two. Because it was not like a book close kind of thing with her and Steve, but it felt very just natural. Like the breakup with Steve, and then she goes and dates Jonathan, right? So I don't know. I'm okay with it happening. It's just kind of weird. I felt like it came out of nowhere, and I think that's a big problem with the season. That a lot of it to me also just kind of felt It's exactly what my worries were with the season, when they're like, we can't put it all into one season, so we're doing first half, second half, and then another season. And I was like, it kind of feels like they're trying to do too much, got overwhelmed, and then now they're trying to organize it better.
Another thing I want to touch on is Eleven's path and how she's going. So don't worry. At the beginning, I actually liked it a lot. I liked that she was having struggle and that she was lying to Mike. She didn't want him to worry, because that's real shit. I just really enjoyed all the struggle she went through. Now she's going down the path of trying to get back her powers, and it's really weird because G-Man from first season is still alive, and I got no idea how he survived, but I'm just assuming they never showed his death. And I don't like the idea. I'm gonna assume she's not actually backpedaling on hating him. I'm assuming she's just pretending to like him again, calling her Papa and all that. I'm assuming that's just to get his trust, because I assume that's what's happening.
Yeah, having her
exactly.
kind of revert back to that character. I think it's mostly just because she wants to get her powers back, because both she misses them. She feels like she's
same without.
Yeah, same without them. She's not as worthy of both Mike's love and then
which
just
sucks
because
she is. That she has the powers don't make her.
Absolutely. So I think it's like a lot she's dealing with it just to do that, to get her powers, and then also she knows that she's one of the she is the only other superpowered being in existence right now besides 8 and 1. But that can stop the mind flayer. So there's probably a huge sense of a responsibility, especially since what's his name was like, only you can prevent forest fires to her in the diner and all that, you know. But I think that's a big thing with the show. Really thinking about it, it's like I only cared about like the Dustin group. I'm not gonna lie, that's where I was most interested.
Honestly.
And then everything else, I was just kind of like, it's all right, it's whatever. Will's group, Mike's, and
I don't want to.
I feel I'm so disappointed. I want them to have way more to do.
They did jack shit for such a long time. Man.
I want just their whole thing. Yeah, I wanted them to do way more. Like I said, they had one good scene in the house where random agent guy saved them.
Can we talk about that scene?
That's
like
sick.
When I first saw that, I felt like it was so out of left field. It
really was
like a dream scene. I was literally thinking like, okay, when are they gonna be like, oh, I woke up and this was a dream, like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then it was real, and I was like, what the fuck?
And just how they filmed it was so just incredible too, because it's just a one take all the way through it. And then you can see some like the behind the scenes of them practicing it. I thought it was really sick, and I loved that scene so much. And then everything.
You know what
else,
I think
like,
would have made more sense if it was the Russians coming for them instead of like a weird American like inner civil war. Because I feel like I guess, but I feel like the group with 11 would have shared info and been like, it's not 11, it's 01. Here's the info. Don't come after us. And they would have been like, oh, okay, well, fuck.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they can just say, well, you just want to protect your little science project. I
guess.
Right? And I think that's a big part, right? It's like
they have their agenda. They're not gonna
even that's the case.
Now.
I still would have liked to see some like I don't know. Even though we got in season 3, I still would have loved to see like some like Cold War like undercover commando shit between like the fucking what is it, between the Soviet spies and American spies. One side trying to get to 11, the other trying to protect.
That's another character I didn't like. The Russian guy that was helping Hopper. He just felt. I like that he's helping Hopper, and I think he has really good moments.
I just did not care.
He just seems so weird. Yeah, he just seems like
because there
were
really times when he was like, I kind of
like, are you ready, American?
There were times where I was like, I'm vibe with this guy, and there were other times I'm like, he doesn't have to be here. It could just be anybody else.
I kind of like that guy.
I don't hate him. He's not one of my favorites. Like, if he dies, I'm going to be like, okay.
And then
I'm gonna be sad because like he helped Hopper. Like I think he's a good dude.
I hope he does, so you're sad.
But like obviously he's not like a standout character.
No, I just thought his character was just a little weird and like not over the top. I think out of the new characters, he's the least over the top.
I think he's also the least strong.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe. I don't know. Yeah, I also don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say about him. But it just kind of comes off kind of weird. It's when I think of him, it's like the hacker going, "I'm in."
Stereotypical.
I don't know why, but that's like the same vibe to me. Yeah, I was like, this is kind of the same vibe to me. I hope he still lives. Because, I don't know, maybe, like, they can make his character more interesting. I think they just introduced so many characters that it's so hard to, like, really...
I mean, Eddie's probably my new favorite new character.
Him and Chrissy I like a lot. Then they killed him.
I know, like, when I thought Chrissy was going to be part of the main cast, because I thought what was going to happen from the trailers is, like, she's getting haunted by this guy, and then she goes to, like, Dustin's group, and then they help her, and then they realize who this is. But no, she just fucking gets killed, like, out of the gate.
I do like how brutal that is, though. I like it's pretty brutal in a lot of senses, and I like that.
At times I had to like look away because I just didn't want to see what was going to happen.
Like I said, there's a lot of downs and a lot of ups.
I was actually very taken aback by how like paranormal this season was in comparison to others. Like, because other seasons before this, it was all like, the Upside Down. It was all things we knew. But this was like, for a while, this was kind of like weird ghost paranormal shit. That obviously had to do with Upside Down, but it was... I don't know how to say it. I guess it was just kind of more a different pattern than what we're really used to.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Well, yeah, and like in Season 3, it was like a flesh monster would eat you and then use your flesh to eat other people.
Yeah.
Where with this one, it's like he's like going into your psychology and like haunting you.
Very Nightmare on Elm Street.
It is completely different, yeah.
Which I think is obviously on purpose, so they're trying to...
Well, yeah, they even mentioned it in the show.
Yeah, and then Robert Englund was a character. He was Mr. I don't remember.
Dad of 01. I kind of hope we see a little more of him, a tiny bit more, but I doubt we will.
I don't
doubt
think we will. I'm not gonna lie.
And
Yeah, I
then-
don't think we will. I think it's just
Yeah,
like a cool little
And-
cameo.
The only thing
Like,
left I can
woo.
think of to talk about is that jock group that's trying to hunt down Eddie.
I just
Fuck those
God,
guys.
I know,
fucking
dude.
Christ. I mean, it's very real
they're
that they're
like,
like
"Fuck that
that
dude."
happened with Dungeons and Dragons, and like being like it's a satanic cult because that happened
Yeah,
with
it-
Dungeons and Dragons. But like, yeah, I don't know. God,
That's I was so conflicted because like on the one hand, like their motivations make sense. Like it totally does. I would believe it. But on the other hand, fuck them
Yeah,
for being
exactly.
ignorant and
Yeah.
wanting to just resort to violence
absolutely.
immediately.
Yeah,
On-
no, exactly.
It's like why
And
can't
like,
you know what I
obviously,
know?
Like, on one hand, I kind of understand why. I don't remember the lead jock when he saw his friend out of the water in that boat scene when they were trying to get Eddie. He gets lifted up and they're cracked, and he sees that Eddie isn't like doing weird incantations or shit. He's just on the boat freaking out. I kind of understand why he's still like, Eddie made a pact with Satan, but I feel like most people would be like, he's not doing anything.
Well, yeah, because both of the deaths
That's true.
are
Yeah,
tied to
yeah,
Eddie.
Yeah, and then
So
also
it makes sense for him to still think that.
it's not like you have any confirmation of like any actual paranormal stuff happening around you. And Eddie had that confirmation. These guys don't, so they're probably just trying to figure out the easiest solution for their
Yeah,
minds to
and
comprehend.
There's two more people. I don't know why. I have a feeling that the parents low key form a group or something, or at least that's what the season made it feel like. That the parents of these like kids were gonna form like a group or some shit.
Oh yeah, actually I did.
Yeah.
I'm interested in
I-
that. See how that.
Because if
goes.
they
I forgot about that.
figure that get involved,
Get
that'd
involved.
be crazy.
That'd be crazy. They finally
Yeah,
figure
they're
out
like,
what's
"Holy
happening.
Shit!
After
You guys have
fucking
been doing
years.
this for years.
They're like,
What
"Oh
the
my
hell's
God."
wrong with you?"
How do we not know about this? That explains all the
Yeah,
government
exactly.
agents around us
And
all the
then
time.
Fight.